give away, information and stuff to try to wake up people to, certain things that's going on within politics, health, and etc. But as far as I think that, as far as trying to come up with some type of group or network, I really have a real positive effect of real change.
Yeah, well, I think just resist. Demonstrate, call into talk shows, make films, make blogs, point out there's a shadow government. It's what the Obama deception does. Point out that, hey, forget Obama. Forget Bush. There are the puppet masters behind the puppets. Things are only going to get worse until we arrest these bankers, until we arrest the New World Order. And talk about that as a solution instead of getting caught up. I know you know this, but for the general folks out there want the solution, to not get caught up in the false choices they give us and debate just that limited universe of ideas they give us and expand out into the larger universe of ideas and really get more aggressive and say, you're a pack of Madoff criminals like Bernard Madoff that are looting and robbing. You are criminal. You are destroying things by design. And just basic educate people one person at a time to how illegitimate this is until the system just loses all credibility, and then we can take it back and educate the police and military not to go along with martial law and defend the Second Amendment and expose that, stand up to Democrats and say, look at you. You attacked Bush for doing all this evil, but now you're for it because it's Obama and you feel like he's your man and you've got a seat at the table. You're a sucker. I think being aggressive and in people's faces is the way to go. So many people are nice about it and kind of, creep up. And I know you think I'm a kook, but there's a new world order. All the time for that's over. We need people to be bold. Fortune favors the bold. What did Frederick Douglass say? Freedom is not given. It is taken. It is seized. We just have to get aggressive and know we're right and know we have power and know we can affect change and develop our communities and love each other like Mahatma Gandhi said and fight against these corrupt people. Does that answer your question, Marcus?
I think you hit the nail right on the head. You gave the answer that I was looking for.
All right, stay there, sir. We all get answers from each other. We'll be right back with more calls from Marcus Williams. Stay with us. Are you fed up with all the side effects of chemicals in your shampoos and detergents? Even fragrances can signal some 4,000 separate ingredients, most of which are synthetic. Hi folks, Alex Jones here. Why not go back to basics and be safe with Calben Pure Soaps? They're all natural and you'll save some 85% the money you're spending for your cleaning products now. Marty Schachter founded Calben Soap Company in 1947 and provided products for health institutions. Now, Calben soaps are available to you and me. Triple concentrated for all your cleaning needs, from bathing and laundry to dishes, hair, and more. No harsh chemicals, no animal testing. I use them and love them, knowing they're all natural and safe, and I save big time. Call Calben Pure Soap at 1-800-340-7091. That's 1-800-340-7091. Or log on to 5starsoap.com now for a free catalog. Again, that number, 1-800-340-7091 or 5starsoap.com for all your cleaning needs.
A day unlike any other in the long course of American history, a terrorist act of war against this country.
The enemy struck America on September 11th. But who is the enemy?
Bin Laden.
This is his M.O.
We have to look to the Middle East. We have to look to Osama bin Laden.
Fabled Enemies is the first 9/11 film to take a close look at the terrorist ties to intelligence networks inside the United States.
Some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained.
Bin Laden's connections to the CIA, the hijackers' ties to the FBI, the Saudi Arabian connection, the Israeli intelligence network, warnings and war games, the shadow government, and much, much more. Fabled Enemies. Get the DVD at Infowars.com or see it in super high quality, along with hundreds of other titles at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
It's a new year full of uncertainties. People are being laid off in record numbers. The price of food continues to rise, and the economy continues to falter. You know that you need to prepare. And maybe you've been putting it off, but the time to act is now. That's why you need to visit organicaseed.com. At organicaseed.com, you'll find one of the largest online selections of heirloom seeds and survival seed packs, as well as the giant vegetable seed collections that can feed you and your family for years. Imagine growing your very own fresh vegetables, wheatgrass, fruits, herbs, rice, tea, coffee, and tobacco. With detailed growing guides available to you at no charge, you can maximize your harvest and investment. And the best part? All orders ship within 24 hours. So head over to organicaseed.com. That's ORGANICA seed.com. Organicaseed.com today.
I was just talking to Paul Hartman during the break, Mr. Williams, and his barber is a Prince Hall, Black Mason. And they were having a big discussion about the New World Order, and he was saying that his barber knew all about the New World Order and said they were puppets and it was bad, but then he thinks that being a Mason's good. And he wanted me to ask you, do you ever have Black Masons? Prince Hall Lodge, it was before the Masons were racist and wouldn't let black folks in. They had their own group. Do you have any comments on that? Like, reportedly, Jesse Jackson and others are really Masons. You never hear Jesse Jackson say, take down the statue behind the Supreme Court. We've been there. We videotaped it in D.C. of Albert Pike, the founder of the Ku Klux Klan, Supreme Grand Mason.
Yeah, here in Atlanta, Georgia, I'm originally from Michigan, but here in the South, the Masonic and Order of the Eastern Star movement is real big here in Georgia, in the South. And I get a lot of Masons that come to my store. Here in my bookstore, I do sell Masonic books and rituals because I got a large demand for people who want books dealing with Freemasonry, and so it's real big here. And I get a lot of who also read, who are familiar with your books and videos. And I think that a lot of, in my personal opinion, I have a lot of relatives who are Masons. I'm not in the Masonic order. I've really never been impressed with any of my family members as far as like any knowledge or anything that I guess they're learning in the lodges or whatever. So I think in the black community, to me personally, especially on the lower level, I think that I don't really take the Masons as far as really being a real big threat or anything really major.
I agree with you. I believe most Masons, I know most Masons, are porch Masons. Let's take a call. Rob in California, you're on the air with the owner of the Nubian Bookstore in Atlanta, Georgia, Marcus Williams.
Yeah, you guys were right on it with the movie industry. I just saw the International last weekend. That movie sent chills down my spine. Have you seen that one? No,
but I've read the synopsis and talked to folks that have seen it. They claim there's one bad rogue bank that needs to be banned, and the big international banks need to stop it in the end. And notice they're introducing legislation to shut down the smaller banks internationally right now, so these movies come in perfectly. Just like Blood Diamond says stop the diamonds. That only means stop the diamonds that independents are putting out. It's actually De Beers that has the slave camps, but they imply that De Beers is fighting it.
Yeah, he made a comment in there. He said it's not about the money. He says we want the debt, and that summed it all up for me, But I wanted to ask you: have you seen the series of films, The Arrivals?
No.
No, you that's what all the kids around here. That's what they're getting into. That's kind of like their new zeitgeist or whatever, however you want to put it. It's a series of 15-minute films. There's about 50 of them.
I think I've seen one or two now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it. I watched about 3 of them, but I'm just kind of up in the air about what it's. I didn't know if it was it seemed to be kind of anti-Semitic. But I was just wondering if you had seen them and what your take was on those things before I get in and watch the rest of the 50 of them.
I think I've seen one or two. It's like a YouTube release, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got to go click from one to the next to the next to the next and stuff.
Well, my whole issue is people that obsess on one group or another, that just plays into the balkanization. Can't we just all be against the New World Order? Can't we all be against tyranny and people being oppressed? And then we can come together against that. They love us fighting over race or religion or issues. That's how they break us down and control us. Do you have any comments on that, Marcus?
I think that with the whole thing, as far as what you was saying, and I want to kind of bring this back up before I forget about it too, what you had said before the last break, as far as being more aggressive. And I think that I really wish that that little clip I guess you're about to play with Senator Sanders grilling the Bernanke. I really wish Ron Paul had that same fire to be a little bit more aggressive. I was looking for that during the primaries, And I think that if Ron Paul had that same fire to be aggressive, I
agree with you. Stay there. Stay there, Mr. Williams. We're going to come back and do 5 more minutes with you. Then I'm going to play the Senator Sanders clip.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com